Hello, everybody. We want to welcome you to the Papa Show on the Total Trash Network.
Hello, everybody. Back the show, but I didn't let him do that. Boogity, boogity, boogity,
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
Welcome back to the Papa Russ Show, and I'm taking back over right here, right now.
Ain't that the truth? And you
All right,
certainly
all
demanded.
All right.
Now he's not letting anyone talk either.
Yeah, that's nothing new for him.
That's
Get a
true.
word in with him edgewise.
Mr. Funny Guy here always has to be the center of the conversation.
Whatever. We're all married, so we know what that means.
Excuse you?
I have been married,
That's true.
so you got to get your words in when you can. So, what's the most interesting place that y'all have been?
Oh,
They're having a really nice day.
So, you're the one who started, so why don't you start first? Got pictures, videos, talk to us about your favorite stuff.
I've sent you all one picture where I seen an imitation President Trump. New York City.
Did he make New York great again?
I was greatly disappointed
Yeah.
in New York.
I think he's blowing up New York right now in the news.
Needless
way
to say, New York City is a very interesting place.
Yes, it is.
Can I just say that impersonator Trump kind of looks like that Boris Johnson? And from the face he does, he reminds me a lot of Boris.
You'll have to throw up side by side for our viewers to see that, so they know why we're all laughing.
Come on, look at it again and tell me you don't see that.
Something new right now. Anyhow, New York City. I've been there twice, but I don't think I want to go back a third time. But I have been there up and down.
Man, I would love to go back. Oh,
Been to the nightlife.
I've been there once, and I'm glad to say I was so young I barely remember any of it, and that's probably a good thing.
I went to the Statue of Liberty. I didn't go up in it, but
Yep.
I've been to the Statue of Liberty. I have been up and down the avenues and the streets.
Yep.
And the difference is that I can't remember what it is right now, but the even streets, I believe, are avenues, and I believe the odd streets are streets. Either way, I've been to Radio City Music Hall. I've seen some of the Rockettes there. I've been to the where the Twin Towers was, and they made the
Yep.
memorial. I've been there.
Been there too.
I've been to the Empire State Building. Went up. I've been to a lot of the shopping areas there, a lot of the things there. It's really neat if you ever get to go. Give
Yeah, it
yourself 3 or 4 days.
At least. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I've done there is stop and ride buses where they take you around the city and give you stories and
Yeah.
show you different highlights of the city. I've been to the Bronx part of it. I've been to the Uptown. I've been, all over New York City, and it's really an interesting place. And he was going to try to say something.
New York can be expensive though. I would probably recommend staying at somewhere like right outside of New York City,
what we
like
did.
in New Jersey.
That's what we did.
Yep, and then travel to the city itself. Yeah, I've
Taking
been
the
to.
bus in is a big plus.
Oh yeah, but I've been to a lot of the places that you mentioned. The Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island.
Yes.
So I went up in high school with the drama team. We saw shows on Broadway. I'll never forget going by where the Twin Towers stood. As we drove by, dead silence on the bus.
It's
It
a
was-
life-changing place.
It was very humbling to see that. I mean, the whole bus just went dead silent.
Well, those of us that were
That's something you don't forget.
you're in your 20s, you're in your 30s, I'm in my early 40s.
Yep.
That happened in a pivotal time in all of our lives. That's one of the catastrophes we will never forget is
Yeah.
9/11.
Yeah.
Every 9/11, which I hope this year we can all do a special episode for that week.
Chinatown,
Yes.
that was interesting of
It is.
itself as well.
Taiwan Shoe.
I know I went to a lot more places, but I only remember going to a zoo, Ellis
Park Zoo.
Central Park Zoo,
I remember
Alice-
that there.
Ellis Island, and Statue of Liberty. I know we went out. Oh wait, no, it wasn't just New York we went to on that trip. I also remember going to Pennsylvania. We went to Hershey. We went to the Chopper Museum.
Right.
Hold on. Sorry about that. We went to the Orange County Chopper Museum while we were up there. A lot of other places. It was pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
I love them.
One of the stores that I remember about New York City is the M&M store. The reason it sticks out is it was 3 stories of nothing but M&M's merchandise. 3 stories. Now,
How do you fill up 3 stories of a building with M&M's merchandise? I mean, I know there's a lot of like branded merch, but 3 stories?
3 stories. Yeah, from that point on, it went from M&M's to memories and memories.
Many years they've collected that merch too.
That's true. But even still, like I said, I knew there was a lot of merch, but even over the years, you'd think.
But with all the online shopping, even the New York shopping experience has changed from what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a time when you had a company in the United States of America, you wanted to be on New York City's streets. You know?
Oh, yeah.
That was like the hot spot of American economics at its finest.
Right.
Like everyone who was somebody was there. They had a shop set up there. It was
Oh, yeah.
guaranteed.
And
So you know the most interesting place I've ever been?
where's that?
Orlando, Florida. Back in 2019, in May, me and a group of friends from work, we went to Orlando, Florida to go to MegaCon, which is the largest Comic-Con on the East Coast. It's really, even though it says it's Comic-Con, it's more like an all-encompassing like expo of everything pop culture and nerd and things like that. And it was a blast. We went down there that day. We went down there a couple days before the show and left a couple days after, because we also did some other things while we were down there. The first day, we just chilled, relaxed, had a cookout. Second day, we went to a restaurant called Super Saiyan, which is themed after a anime known as Dragon Ball. It's a ramen shop, and it's all things Dragon Ball, but in like a Japanese style cuisine. And then we went the next day and started the expo, and I met a lot of cool people. A lot of very famous celebrities were there. I met a couple of the actresses from one of my favorite cartoons. The people from Back to the Future was there. David Tennant from Doctor Who was there. I remember the guy who played Shazam was there. A lot of the creators of Pinky and the Brain was there. Like a lot of cool people, and I met a lot of interesting people. Saw a lot of costumes and stuff because everyone goes in these things costume.
All right, I'm gonna butt in here right here. Who was there from Back to the Future?
Christopher Lloyd and what's the other one? Michael J. Fox.
J. Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were both there, and I really want to see them, but there was a lot of people you could register on site to go see with the meet and greet, but then there were a lot of people like Michael J. Fox, the big names, David Tennant, that you had to register at a kiosk when you got there, and reserve a time slot with them because they were so high demand, and they were sold out like immediately after the con started, within minutes.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, because also with Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd's health right now,
Right.
yeah, it was kind of, everyone was worried they would never get that chance, I guess.
Well, I will say that Back to the Future is a part of pop culture.
Oh, even if you've never watched it and you're from any generation, you still know what it is.
Sydney will tell you that I even though I grew up old order Pentecostal, Back to the Future is one that I can sit here and quote parts of it. McFly! Hello, McFly! I mean, that's...
And you know, it's kind of interesting. I mean, I'm going to dabble in this a little bit. It's kind of interesting to see how, like, 80s pop culture and movies depicted the future. Because, as you know, we have passed that future point that they visited in those movies. And nothing's like what it was. Nothing. No. We don't have flying cars, even though that would be cool. We have hoverboards, but not in the way that they, you know, we got these cheap, junky toys.
But the weirdest part of all was how they almost, within 40 years, got the Cubs winning a World Series within 40 years right. It was 1 year later. The Cubs won the World Series 1 year earlier than what they said they would in the movie. How creepy is that?
No, you want to know creepy? Look how many times the Simpsons predictions have been.
Oh yeah, those are creepy. But no, it was a fun experience when I went down there. They also had like a pop culture themed car show where cars were painted and designed into themes of like different shows. So there was a Star Wars one, there was a Red Lobster's one, a Volkswagen with a giant crab on the top. It like molded into the bodywork, not like just a, you know, like built in. It was so crazy. And then the last day I remember went to Medieval Times, which was like a dinner theater where they had like a, you've heard of it?
Oh yeah.
They do like jousting contests, and it's all in this stage, and it's so cool.
You eat right at your seat. They bring you the food. There. Yep.
And you don't get forks. You have to
use your hands.
Yep. But,
I've been to a lot of those dinner shows like that. Speaking of interesting places, what's the one with the Medieval Times that we talked about? There was one in New York City, New Jersey, right outside of New York City.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
Then I also have been to places in Dollywood, Pigeon Forge area. Places like that. Just different places.
Oh yeah.
So, anyhow.
But if you ever get a chance, like, go to any of these places they mentioned. They're really cool.
Have either of you ever been to the restaurant Bubba Gump Shrimp or Bubba Gump?
No, Bubba. I know who you're... It's based upon that character in...
Forrest Gump.
Yep. That's a great movie.
Not sure if I have or not. I've been so many different places I couldn't tell you anymore.
I know there's one, at least one in Chicago, Illinois, at the wharf, Navy Wharf, Navy Pier, I should say, Navy Pier. But anyway, what are we looking like on time on this show?
Cutting out everything. We're looking at all the issues, about 14 minutes.
Okay.
So you can go on for a few more. But the camera is dying. So.
Okay. Well, for this show, I believe that about wraps.
Oh no, finish up your story. Come on.
I just was saying Bubba Gump restaurant's a place I'd like to visit. That's all.
Okay then.
That could be our next show. What are the places you would like to see?
Yeah, that could be the topic of our next show.
There you go. Segue effort into something else.
Yep. Segway.
And for this show, since we've wasted 45 seconds talking about nothing again.
I'm the Robert. He's the Sydney, and you're Russell.
That's all we got, folks. Until next time.
So long, everybody. No, come on. No.
Hey.